boy Lex. I don't know what to think, but here we are in this ring. It seems so far from the truth, and I go hide in the booth. Can you feel the movement on spin? Can you see the curvature bend? Do you see when they spray the skies and they make up lies and do it again? Man, who's really in charge? How long has the lie been hidden? How long has time been broken? Cause every season is different. They tell you climate is changing. They say the global is warming. They think you'll need a vaccine, otherwise you'll die without warning. God put the stars, the sun, and the moon in the same sky. God put the devil on earth and let us reside at the same time. Maybe cause angels betrayed God all over a slut lust. Then there was a reset, some of us call it a mud flood. Firmament permanently fixed to a plane, perfectly placed, impervious escape for the human race. This is God's work, so ask God first every day. And it's not curved, it is straight. It is not a planet, it's a plate. This the other side of Hell's Gate.
What is up?
Yo. Here we go again.
Yes, let's try this. Numero dos. Every time we have this particular friend come by, there's something weird going on, but this is a special one. But yeah, we'll try it again. This is going to be first 30 minutes on X, then the rest will be on our Substack for everybody to watch live, or it'll be out everywhere else Monday.
It's very simple. You just go over to the Substack, phoneboothpodcast.substack.com, and you hit the little subscribe button. It's the easiest thing to do in the world.
Yeah, it asks
And
you
then you
for
can
an
hang out.
email, and you can even say proceed without email if you want to be a
Oh,
jerk.
there you go. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, it's super simple. But yeah, here, all our stuff, it's all there. They don't cut anything. They don't make us change anything. Nothing's taken down. No strikes. We got some Friends podcasts there. All the live streams are there. All the episodes and some bonus content. That also takes you to our little merch store here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Bill. Want to talk about this?
Growing. Hopefully not dying. Grow or die, guys. There's so many shirts. Pick and choose. There's shirts. There's coffee mugs.
There's some things.
There's
some
things.
stickers. Some your
Oh yeah,
government is
stickers that may or
flocking
may
in.
not be the size of a flock camera lens.
Maybe.
And
Who knows?
yeah, like come, support. No, not just to support us, but support getting the truth out there or starting the conversation that could lead to the truth. You know what I mean?
Starts grand conversations. Grand.
Yes. That's what we're here for.
Yes. That, and go to canambullion.com for all your gold, silver, platinum coins, bars, bullion, all the stuff. Get it while it's hot. Put it in your cart. Buy it right away. Don't let it sit around because the prices change all of the time. It goes up every minute. Up or down every minute, I should say. I can't say it goes up every minute, but you know what I mean. Go over there, check it out. Mike's an awesome dude. If you have a large order, he can help you out. Just contact him. If it's
what
normal,
it doesn't do?
it's all
It
there.
doesn't crash.
What does it do?
It doesn't crash. You know what I mean? Like there's no like rug pull and then fucking, like some crypto scam. So
yeah,
it's something that's actually physical.
That's true. It's not financial advice. It's just smart to do. It always holds its value over time, especially gold. If you can afford the gold's fucking. If you would have bought some gold 20 years ago, you'd be very, very happy right now. But so go check that out. So let's
have a
bring our
return
boy up. Yeah.
guest.
Yeah, he's just like another wing of the thing now. It's because he's always getting so much information. It's just like you gotta. We said we'd
Plus
have him back to
everything. It's
talk
like
about
everything like that's current. You know what I mean? It's like happening every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like once in a while and then that's gone. This is every minute of every day. Dan Blue, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going?
How you holding up, bro?
Not too bad. I'm not on fire like most of or at least half of North America was for the last month. So,
Yeah, it's getting heated, bro. Things are getting heated.
Yeah, you could say that.
got all the smoke for sure because everything left over from the spraying from the Pacific Ocean to Canada to the United States all gets funneled straight through New England for whatever reason.
We think we should just have you come on and do like weather reports, but like what they really are. You know what I mean?
He said that.
I just thought about that the other day. I said,
Really?
Yeah, I was like, maybe we should do like a
We're here,
weekly.
bro. We're here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, well, let's just freaking. Oh wait, first tell everybody where to find you. Let's try to be professional. I gotta remember.
Yes,
Tell everybody
yes.
where to find you, and then we'll jump right into it.
As you can see on the board behind me, at Short Seasoner, YouTube, Rumble, and x.com is BEULERDAM, Bueller Dam.
Boom. All right.
Bueller?
So, what are you here to talk to us about? Let's lay it out there. Let's go, man.
Well, I'm sure you guys have seen posts and news articles and everything about these wildfires. I made a video a few weeks back because I get very frustrated that they call them wildfires because I've come up with the term dewmesticated, as in DEW, dewmesticated, because at the very minimum, the conditions are created by microwave energy weapons. The droughts are, I've proven that over the last few years, right? Where the radars are some of the weapons on the radars are capable of just blocking moisture completely, right? Because all those nanomaterials in the air give basically complete control. So any storm comes in, they can turn that radar on, stop it dead in its tracks, or they can flip it on and it'll just dissipate all the moisture instantly. Mm-hmm. So at the very minimum, they create the conditions. They block the moisture once the fire's going. I showed on the Pacific coast in some of my videos. We can short videos or whatever, where basically you get a whole Pacific Ocean worth of moisture, and it just stops right at the coast, perfectly in line where the fires are. And California is the best example of that because they're constantly blocking the moisture from California all the time, like year round, pretty much.
Wow.
But then they create the high winds as well. The radars create the high winds. And again, the nanomaterials give them basically complete control because it's like a Star Trek tractor beam, right? Because they're electromagnetic weapons. So they basically can either suck the nano towards the radar or they can steer the storm or push it. They can push away. They can pull in. The hurricane video I just showed in Hawaii there is probably the best example I've ever gotten to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that these radars are in fact the ones causing the spin, the winds, because you can see the highest velocity because there's velocity readings, right? Where it's just red and green. If you want, we can pull up that hurricane video real quick.
Let's
Yeah,
do
that's
that
what I was
because
gonna say.
that just happened and it was pretty wild as it is.
Because like these will give the fundamentals on what the radars can do. I'm going to show you this month. Thanks to the fires, I've learned a lot, actually. I knew that I showed you the spinning action right before. I'm going to have to use my phone because for some reason I can't log in on my computer. But I showed you how one of the weapons created a spin, right? The actual weapon, it was like a Gatling gun or minigun last time.
Yes.
So it's mixing up all the air. Well, I discovered that every single microwave energy weapon creates some sort of spin or horizontal vortex, right? So a sideways tornado. Now, it's not always super fast, but when you're spinning the air like that and you're directing multiple energy weapons into one area and they're all spinning sideways vortexes, it's a matter of time before either you create a regular tornado, a firenado. I showed how they were basically at Spokane, they turned, because there's a radar right on top of Spokane, they basically turned it into a blast furnace. The radar was sucking in, it was sucking in smoke from the fires that were west of it towards the coast. And you could see the fire just spinning in a vortex straight to the radar, and then it would spit out a vortex on the other side. So it's just creating this giant vortex of supercharged. And based on my research, I'm pretty sure, because like if you put metal in the microwave, it doesn't take long before it superheats, right? Mm-hmm. So think about a sky full of nanomaterials being hit with all these microwave energy weapons. You could probably just turn the sky into instant plasma. Is that my?
This is.
my
I don't know.
Do you have
I'm
some-
hear it a little bit.
Do we have something?
Hold on.
What does it sound like?
Well, the easy way to find out is
Like, I don't know.
to
It's
mute NEB Mux real quick, and then we can see.
Oh, it just went quiet.
Yep, it's gone now. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
That's me. Then that's me.
Oh, okay. I don't know if my cats are in here running around somewhere, like making noise, and I can't hear with the headphones. But All right, let me get that hurricane video, and I'll show you guys. But basically, so even if they weren't starting the fires with the radars, which I'm about 95% sure based on the last month, because when they're going so hard like that, at least it gives me a lot of evidence, right? To like try to figure out exactly what it is. I was almost certain they were starting the fires because it's, you know, it's just not hard, right? To start a fire with directed energy weapons when, and not just the air is saturated, they've been dumping these things for years. So your lawns, your house, whether you can see it or not, the forest, the tree, everything is literally coated. And a lot of those things, like I said last time, are the innards of fireworks. Like many of the things they dump in the sky are the same things that make fireworks the color that they are. So basically, you know, they've turned the forests into a giant fireworks display.
Yeah, just
Or
ready
whatever.
to go. Damn.
So, but yeah,
And how
I was-
they're all starting at the freaking same time is the biggest giveaway to me. Again, that I don't see how people don't question what's happening there.
I think that's the only reason they just a few days ago they finally let some moisture get to these fires. Right? It's that easy. That's what I've been trying to tell people. They like none of these fires ever have to get out of control. There shouldn't be any fire that becomes, you know, quote unquote wild. Right? They're not wild. All they have to do is flip the radar switch and let an entire Pacific Ocean's worth of moisture come, which they did, and it put the fires out all over the place.
Right when they wanted it to.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with the same story with the named storms. I exposed their named storms, the one that flooded out North Carolina, wiped those towns off the map and stuff. Showed how they stalled it in the Gulf. They loaded it with moisture and then
built it up.
Yeah, and drove it there and parked it. Well, they've been avoiding the big name storms. My theory is they don't like the headlines. When you get big nationwide headlines, people go looking for answers, and people are finding the answers I have, and they don't want people finding those answers. So they've been trying to stick to smaller storms instead of having the big name storms. But these fires did get a bunch of people's attention, for sure.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name that shared me on Instagram. He's like Cat Dad or something on X. He's got glasses, but he shared my fire video a few weeks ago. Just basically, it's like a very quick, brief overview of like just frequency, right? That they're not. I was like, this is why I call them domesticated, not wild.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Got to trademark that shit.
I'm trying to multitask here. I for some reason I can't log into X on my computer right now, so
Not surprised. Again, there's always something. All right, hold on. Let me pull
the fire.
this up.
The fire ones will be easy because I just put every fire video I've made in like the last 3 years into one post, all the links. So if you if anybody's watching and you want to see any of the videos, go on my page and it should be like one of the last posts or in the first of my highlights. Yeah, I think it's my second post on my feed, and it just says a master thread of fire videos.
Okay, let me.
And while you're doing that, I will get the next fire one on deck.
Fire one ready?
Yeah, because I kind of like tried to plan it out how we should do this, but basically we'll give some fundamentals like I did last time of how the radars manipulate the weather, the air, the atmosphere, or whatever, the conditions, and then we'll go into and I'll show you actual hard evidence of the radars doing that in these fires, whether it's Spokane or whatever. And for a caveat, I will have to say this. I do believe the technology that they brought the towers down with, they have outfitted all or many of these weather radars with some version of it. These weather radars I've proven can fire across multiple states, hundreds, if not 1,000+ miles, some of the straight line weapons on those things. And in order to turn like 3 cars into dust, not even melting the rims, turning like cars in the garage to dust. Right? That's going to take more than high winds, vortex, supercharged nanomaterials. That's going to take Hutchinson effect. I don't know if you know who that guy is. The guy that
But
Yeah.
it just bothers me that I don't know if he really lost his mind or if that's how they're painting him now to like discredit everything that he discovered, but some weird shit going on there. But yeah.
Yeah, he was melting steel beams, oddly, conveniently enough, right, in his garage, floating bowling balls in his garage. Because people are always like, oh, we don't have the powerful enough technology. I'm like, you can create a tornado in a bio or chemistry class on the table. You can create literal lightning with like a mini toy Tesla coil. You know what I mean? So it's not like it takes that much. And this guy was floating bowling balls, welding things together in his garage, and the government took that stuff decades ago. So just imagine what they can do. But with situations like Spokane and Lahaina and like those aren't normal fires, right? That is
clearly.
that's frequency weapons, because all you have to do is set, like, say 3 towers, right? You set one to aluminum, one to copper, one to glass, or something along those lines.
And it's just
And all those metals and materials will break down to their molecular structure. And if you do that to enough materials, it'll take everything else with it, right? Combustible stuff.
crazy ass shit. And anybody who's being honest with themselves will say, looking at those fires, that those were not normal. And these, see, the thing is here, a lot of these, I know house areas are burning too, but like a lot of it's the wooded areas, so it's harder. To me, it's harder to point out things than it was with Hawaii, because that was just so blatant in heavily populated areas, fires and cars melting, but some of the trees being fine. Like, it was just ridiculous. This, I haven't seen anything that compelling come out, because most of it's the woods, and they're just like, more acres burning, more acres burning. At least what I've seen. But
Is this a land grab?
What, the fires?
Yeah.
I think that this is part of the breaking of humanity, I think, because if you look at the area, well, maybe Spokane was a land grab. I'm sure there's definitely land grabs. Like I always say when people ask the who, the what, the why, right? There's the overarching centuries-long satanic plan that everybody has to stay within the bounds of, right? And then you have all the different beneficiaries, right? They'll send out the word. They're like, hey, we're going to bring down these 2 skyscrapers. Anybody can benefit from that, you know, get set up, buy some insurance, terrorist insurance, whatever you got to do. Like, everybody that can benefit, all the little sub clubs. So you're going to have land grabs, you know, everybody wants to be like, oh, it's 100% data centers. It's 100% this, it's 100% that. I think it's a little bit of everything. And, you know, partly land grabs, but a large part of it, I think, is this is the breaking of humanity stage. And if you look at the United States with the weather and stuff, they're hitting all the food crops, right? They're hitting the areas that have high amounts of water, the lakes regions, and the Gulf states and stuff like that. Independent states, all the independent countries in the world are getting hit with this weather warfare. There's no boundaries, or, you know, or, you know what I mean? Well, that's like they're protecting the penguins in Antarctica, though.
So what? So
Hallelujah.
you're telling me that, like, if it has nothing to do with the pine needles in the ground and nothing?
Oh my goodness! That just reminded this lady. There was a video in Canada, I think it was, and these guys were on a boat and they were in a lake, and every house around this lake in the somewhere in Canada was on fire. No trees were on fire. All the way around the lake. Every single house fully engulfed, not like some, you know, one, like it's catching. The houses are not next to each other at all. And, you know, so it's not like the fire's jumping from one house to the other, but none of the trees around there. And then all the smart people, the experts, oh, well, the trees have water in them.
I was just going to say that. That's what one of the videos I posted, I was like, why are all the buildings on fire and the trees aren't?
Yeah. Well, they got water in them. Well, how did the fire jump from one house to another? Like, because all the houses were like at the exact same fire. Like, it wasn't like one house was burnt to ash and like 5 houses down was half burnt. They were all simultaneously burning at the exact same like time or rate or whatever. And some lady comes in, she's like, oh, it was probably, you know, they didn't clean their gutters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so all these wealthy people that live on the lake, every single one of them didn't clean their gutters.
That sounds good, bro.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
I mean, I'm just like, you got it. That's like, that sounds like roosting bats, you know, when
Yeah.
they show like microwave explosion. Oh, that's just roosting bats, dude. Don't worry about it.
I saw someone literally, like, because we talked about that last time, and then I saw someone say it in the comments, either under your post or my quote tweet of your post, one or the other. And I was like, oh my God, they really do say it. They really do.
Yeah.
That's insane.
There's a video out there of like one of the first times it happened on radar, and the guy was like, "Oh, you see this right here? That's roosting bats." And he's like, it's kind of funny, but it makes you sick to your stomach
I
because
know,
people
at the same time.
people believe it, you know.
Oh, man.
Did you get that? Did I send it? I did send it. Okay.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
I'm ready. We were
All
just
right.
talking, so I
All
didn't
right,
wanna
sorry.
interrupt. No,
So I
we're
just
good.
because I didn't send it like 10 times last time when I thought I did. So
So it
All
looks
right,
like
let
we're
me
still
see.
having chat issues, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's no comments coming up from X at all. So sorry, I don't know what the issue
Yeah,
is. Something's
guys.
going on where no X comments are working, and we're not on Rumble right now. So you got to go over to Substack. I mean, the comments still won't work, but we'll see him after. So
Right.
go check him out. Anyway, yeah. So let me pull up this video. Let's play it. Let's see. See here.
Welcome to another episode of Man-Made Hurricanes,
weird.
microwaves, radar hurricanes,
So real quick, his comments are working on X. His, of all people, his are working, but no one else's are. Because I looked in the live chat, there's comments there. None of the other ones are popping up.
Where is he? Where are you posting them from, dude? Or
The-
Ted's or
the live chat on Ted's.
on Ted's?
Yep.
Interesting.
So
'Cause I tried it on
weird.
mine and it's not working.
So see, that tells me that it's not our program. That tells me it's X. Because if some are getting through, the connection's working. It's not like it's excluding certain
Yeah,
ones.
something's not making sense at all, man.
Yeah. It's your fault, damn Blue.
I know.
Damn Blue.
I do know. I do know that.
I know. It's like it always is.
I like man-made canes, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I messed it up. Sorry. I'm going to put it back to the beginning because that was some glory there. And I just, the chat thing threw me off. I don't know why his is working and the other ones aren't. So anyway, let's see.
I have a whole bunch of terminology that's out there for like dewmesticated fires, popcorn clouds, the all kinds of different stuff. Because bombiculous clouds, the microwave
Yeah.
explosion clouds.
That's a
Because
good
they
one.
get to make up new names for the clouds and act like it's always been that way. So I'm like, well, I'm going to make up new names that are actually accurate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
So
going to do the same. They do. They'll be like, oh, that's a so-and-so cloud. I'm like, I've never heard that in my entire life. You guys are making shit up.
Welcome to another episode of Man-Made Hurricanes, microwaves, radar hurricanes, anything you want to call them other than a natural hurricane. As you can see, these are not natural weather patterns. They're trying to hide the anomaly, the light source in the north, because it is much farther south than it has been in the last couple of years. As you can see, there's multiple suns going across there. Whether those are CGI or some sort of sun reflectors, I don't know. But this is not a natural weather pattern. Moving 10 different directions, it just doesn't make sense unless it is manufactured. I always say if you see the dancing nanomaterials there, you're going to find frequency. And sure enough, everywhere around Hawaii, everywhere around this hurricane is being blasted with frequency
That's crazy
for various
looking.
purposes. But I've already proven all these exploding areas of ocean and straight lines, wedge shapes, geometric patterns, they're not natural. Microwave induced. I've also shown the range of these Hawaii radars before, and coincidentally the weather always is right about that range, whatever it may be. Pretty weird how they cut off that entire section of the radar, huh? Because it's nothing to
How is
hide.
that?
Don't worry about it. Well, it is not something to hide, and I'm going to show you here as I go radar to radar. This right here is undeniable proof that the radar is in fact creating the spin, because this is your velocity readings. Green means going towards the radar. Red means going away. The brighter the color, the faster the velocity. As you can see, it is literally sucking in the storm straight to the radar and then blowing it out the other side. Your strongest velocity goes straight through the radar, right? That's not the eye.
crazy.
The eye is out in the ocean right now. And as I show you the other radars, you're going to see the exact same thing, which is mathematically, scientifically impossible for the highest winds to perfectly be going in and out of the radar. Because when they're blasting energy, like this one is, as you can see, there's a red, right? Why is it going red against the hurricane? That doesn't make any sense. It does if that radar right there, oh, what? They cut a slice out right where it's red on the other radar, which means it is blasting energy into that storm. It's either charging
wild,
it
dude.
or slowing it down. And as most of you probably saw over the last few days, that storm took its sweet time as it went through Hawaii, right? And as you can see, the strongest winds are literally being blasted at the islands. See that right there? That's where 2 radars are firing halfway through, and you get this crazy mixing. That's how you get tornadoes in the Midwest, right? That's how you get these insane snowstorms in the middle of a hurricane in Hawaii. And you get extremely crazy things when you combine all of these nanomaterials, moisture, and massive amounts of microwave energy. There is a reason why they cut slices out of these velocity reading now. It's because I have shown you can actually prove that there's directed energy being fired out or fired in, like as in being magnetically charged where it's pulling in the moisture and the nanomaterials like a tractor beam. Because the radars have multiple directed energy weapons on board, and they're capable of pushing, pulling, steering, charging. And as you can see where that slice is, you can see the weather is directly affected by that slice. It changes
fucking crazy,
after
man.
it passes that slice that's cut out. If that slice was there, you'd probably see all kinds of flashy colors and bright colors from the
Yeah,
directed
so that's
energy.
basically,
Again, look,
I don't know
your
how long
highest
the video is,
velocity
but-
is coming out the backside of
It's
that
long,
radar.
but if that's what you wanted to show us.
Yeah, so that's basically when I was talking about what happened with Spokane. So when I pull up the Spokane video, I'll have to share my screen. Will that work at some point?
Yeah.
Or no?
Of
Okay.
course,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
Yep.
So, because I haven't uploaded the Spokane video yet, but anyways, so basically, just imagine the radar. The radar's almost on top of Spokane. It's like it's right next to it. So imagine the radar doing that exact same thing that those were doing in the hurricane, sucking in a vortex on one side, because you can't really see it that well in that one because the winds are going so hard. But it's actually spinning. It's creating, like, it's sucking in a vortex, right? Like a vacuum or something like that. And then blowing out a vortex the other side. So imagine, a fire happening, right? If you're, like, that's like an open air blast furnace is basically what it is, because if you're a blacksmith, you're what do? You're pumping massive amounts of air. Sometimes you hook a blower up to it, right? To keep the fire going super hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you turn metal molten. Right. And
Yeah. I'll do
so
it.
if you have that, you can imagine, right? It's just that radar doing that exact same thing, which I have proof of because you can actually see the smoke picks up, even though they're after I put up my first couple fire videos, they have significantly reduced like what you can see in these radars. I mean, they've cut out full like sections, they've shut them down, limited them, and everything else. But you just see the smoke swirling into the radar.
You can
and then
obviously
swirl-
compare
swirl-
it to the satellite imagery in real time as well too, right? Like
Yeah, same thing.
Seeing the same effects.
Yeah, and I call it the fire bombiculus because I showed you the bombiculus last time, right? Where they fire a bunch of microwave energy and it causes looks like a mushroom cloud. They'll call it an anvil cloud or whatever they call it, but
Right.
the same thing happens in the fire. They'll be like, "Oh, that's a pyrocumulus nimulus." When the fire can create its own weather, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, sure. Smoke and fire can create its own weather, but if you blast it with a whole bunch of microwave energy, it's going to create more explosive weather. And I have like proof of that happening too. It's just like because it's the exact same thing as the weather. The same thing I've been documenting for like a few years. But
Also, real quick before we keep going, I'm getting questions on X. Why can't we comment? Why can't we comment? Go try it on Ted's live. If you're trying it from mine, it's definitely not
There's
working,
people
but-
under mine and it didn't come up either.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
It's something I think it's X now. I did think that maybe it was this program, but now I think it's X.
That's just
because
weird. The dam can do it and nobody else.
I know. He can comment under mine and it pops up, but none of the other ones are at all. So I don't know what's going on with the comments not being able to be displayed. But we're at 30 minutes anyway, so we're getting ready to cut it on X.
Cut
We'll
you
go
guys
like
off on X,
Yep.
but please go to phonebooth.substack.com. Phoneboothpodcast.substack.com.
yes, phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. The stream will continue over there. Then it will be on there for subscribers. Then out everywhere else Monday. Check out his work on X, all that. See you later, X.
Later.
See you.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna send you a couple of shorts, just short clips or whatever. I don't even think this one has audio on it, but basically it's examples. So yeah, it'll be the second video in that post. It's basically where I started noticing that not just the straight line directed energy was creating spin, but the all the different frequency weapons, like the one that fires in a 360-degree radius creates vortexes. Basically every single frequency weapon creates these vortexes in some form or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is just so this is more proof of that.
This is insanity, dude.
I know, and what's crazy is, so I didn't know that about the colors with the radar and all that, and a lot of people I'm sure don't, but also, even if you did kind of know that, like, you would, when you look at the radar, you wouldn't pay this much attention. Like, most people just look at it for whatever, and that's it. Like, you're studying it and finding these patterns of what's going on when these things are happening, and it's like, it's fucking insane, man.
Wild.
It's insane, because if it was just like, oh, hey, this is happening, these fires are starting, like, that's weird. But when you can, I mean, I know you haven't gotten into how it's happening with the fires yet, but just with the weather, when you can show repeatedly, time and time again, that when this happens, that becomes way more than just correlation, you know? It really points to causation at that point, because it's all the time and only during. So yeah, it's pretty insane to actually have someone break it down and show us, and it just hits me like, fuck, man, I see it.
Come on, bro. There's natural explanations for all of this, okay?
I'm sure there is.
Come on.
It's the bats, bro. It's always the bats.
The bats.
All right, I'm going to play this. Let's see what we got here.
Let's go.
Is there no sound for this one?
Yeah, this is just
Oh, okay.
this one's just a clip showing, but you can see that as it spins, you see that little vortex spinning, like a kind of looks like a dust devil, but it's horizontal. I don't know if you can see it or not. See it?
Yes.
I keep zooming back and I kind of go back and forth, fast forward and stuff, so you can kind of see it spinning. See how it's
that little
that?
piece. Yep.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's focused right from the radar, and you know, this is another example. Those are all nanomaterials in smoke right there. That's what's being picked up, and they just it's creating that wind pattern right there. See how the frequency clouds or whatever you want to
Going
call them?
separate from everything else. Like, and I know that there's different heights and shit, but what you showed now, like, this is cut off, and before it was one little piece and other ones individually around it. It's like, and that's rotation.
Yeah,
Clearly.
so all that, and that's centered on a radar, clearly, like all the spin is. And you can see the right angle there as they're stopping the storm from going from one place to another. Like, none of this is natural. It's all manufactured. And, like, see,
Crazy.
on one side it's sucking in, and the other side it's pulling out. Like with the hurricane, it's focusing it into a channel. There, it's just creating, like a solid straight path across, you know what I mean? Because that's what whatever purposes on the grade, because it might not be about something they're doing right in that area. A lot of times, like in Maine, I always say whenever we have a blue sky in Maine, it means that somewhere in the Midwest or Gulf states are going to get pummeled with something extreme, like damage, every single time, and without fail. Because when I realize when they create a blue sky in Maine, which is microwaved, they microwave our sky blue, they're creating a pressure difference, right? They're creating that basically a giant vacuum in the weather pattern, so they can suck other weather and moisture, like if they're sucking a hurricane on land or sucking moisture from the Gulf or sucking cold, wet air from the Pacific and north or whatever. That's why, you'll get a blue sky, because sometimes people are like, oh, the Satanists let us have a sunny day. I'm like, well, they didn't let you have a sunny day. They microwave your sky blue so they can tornado your neighbor's home. Don't be appreciative.
Wow.
Be appreciative of the blue sky, sure, but at least recognize that
Know what's coming.
yeah, someone else's house is getting wiped off the map or business or whatever.
Hey, there's always an expense, right? It's always an expense of somebody else. That's the way
Somebody's
life
got
is,
to
bro.
pay for my blue sky. Damn it.
All right, so we're gonna I'm glad I made this post today with all the fire videos. So this is just like the next step in the it's called fire. I call them firenados or firenados, whatever you want to call them. But basically,
Nice.
they'll say that it's created just by the updraft of the fire and but it will be 100% created when you can see that there's a vortex being created all the way from the radar straight to the fire. Right. So I showed you last time how the one that can reach out can spin, right? And then I just showed you how all the different, the 360 radius one can create a sideways vortex. And now this was you can actually see the tornado. You guys probably won't recognize it's a tornado because of you don't know what a tornado looks like on a velocity reading. But basically, when you see the two, you'll see like a little green and like a red mark that are kind of like just kind of out of place. There'll be like just one like green, and it'll look like a yin yang symbol almost. And you can see it's right in the fire. And that's connected directly to that vortex coming out of the radar. So,
Okay.
This is that right spring fire. And the last month, I've noticed all of these signatures create spinning sideways vortexes. And they send them towards the fires. And obviously, the fires exacerbate when that happens. But this one is very interesting because not only do you read it on that, but you can read it on the velocity. Even though they cut out massive sections of it, you can still see the effect there slightly. But the craziest part is it actually turned into a legitimate firenado in the fire itself up there in the corner. That is exactly what a tornado looks like on velocity readings normally.
see that
in a
little
storm.
green and red there?
Identical.
Yep, I do.
This
that
is
little-
that right spring fire.
Yeah, that one little point. Hold on, I can go to it. And then,
Yeah, I was gonna say, back that up for me.
yeah, I can go to it. I'll let it play, and then I'll pause
In
it.
the fire itself up there in the corner.
Right there. See that?
Oh,
You can see me circling it, right?
yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right, Blue? Part I'm circling right there.
Did we lose him?
I'm muted.
Oh, you're
sorry.
muted.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about right
Yep.
there.
Yeah, you
So.
see it now, Bill? See it?
I do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the people at home, listening at home, can go to the video, and you got to see all this stuff, man, visually. If you're not seeing it on like Spotify video or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. When this is on Spotify, if you only have ears and you're just listening, you need to go over.
You got yeah, you got to see the visuals, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially now that you're explaining how it works and things make more sense, and it's fucking crazy. It's obvious right there.
And for any naysayers or people that like, I don't make claims if I'm not sure about something. Like I said, I'm probably like 95% sure in them starting the fires, right? Because there's a bunch of ways they can start fires. Like they could start it very easily and then just blow it
Feed
up
it,
with
yeah.
radar instantly. You know what I mean? Plus, like I said, everything's been coated in highly conductive and flammable nanomaterials, so it's not that hard to create a few high winds, some vortexes, and block the moisture, and you got a fire, right? You create
Yeah.
a drought condition or whatever. But yeah, so if I'm not certain on something, I'll say it, but I don't make anything that I'm like making claims on. I have all the evidence to back it. You know what I mean? I'm certain of it at this point. And I have a month's worth. I still have at least 90 minutes. Yeah. What's 3 hours? Yeah. What's 3 hours? 180 minutes.
180.
Yeah. So 3 hours of I edited it, but I haven't added audio because every single
That
day
is
these fires,
exactly what
every single day these fires exploded at the exact same time, and then the whole I did I talk about the sun activated nano last time? I think I did
You
brief.
did,
Yeah.
you did. But
Yeah.
we're positive now, just so everybody's on the same page, that this isn't Aunt Jenny throwing her cigarette butt out the window, right? Like,
Yeah, or some bum lighting a trash can on fire, or
right.
you know,
Or some punk kids feeling pyrotechnish
yeah,
that day.
yeah. You cannot. Maybe in one situation here or there, but we are talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of individual fires starting simultaneously on like one day, or like 100 fires will start one day, next day it's 200 fires, but we're talking across multiple countries, thousands of miles, from rural areas to desert to forest to swamplands to literally everywhere, where there's like in northern Canada, there's nobody up there. There's literally nobody in those far north areas. Very few people. And you're
Yeah.
talking like one of the first videos I saw. It was just like Russia's doing the same thing right now. It's like 100 fires in one, like the size of, let's say, Oregon or Washington, the state that size, but 150 fires just all simultaneously going up, just a couple miles, 5 miles from each other or something.
That's
And
so
I'm just,
wild.
you cannot explain that. Like, there's not enough cigarettes in the world like if every smoker threw their cigarette into a gas pile of gas, it wouldn't cause all that.
What if it's Mother Earth cleansing herself of the virus in which we are?
Okay, so I have heard.
Hey,
have-
man, I'm sure you've heard it all, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I've heard that, and then every once in a while, I to get Christians that'll be like, "Oh, this
Nice.
is not manufactured." They won't probably watch the video, right? Because that's
Right.
the thing with my evidence. You don't need really any education. It's very simple. I come from a very simple cause and effect. You see this effect, the signature, and then you see the actual cause, or you see the cause and then you see the effect. As long as you can just see out of one eyeball about 50% and have just a smidge of objective thinking left, you can figure it out. But they'll be like, "Oh, this is biblical prophecy happening," and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, probably not, because they actually it's part of their plan to create
Well,
to
you could
create
tie the
fake.
two. You could
Yeah.
tie the two.
I
Like,
mean,
if they're using it as a script, then why
Yeah.
not, right? Like,
So
now more than
technically-
ever.
You could argue it's prophecy, because technically everything that happens is underneath God's plan. You know what I mean? So like everything's technically prophecy, but
Right.
not the prophecy they think it is. They're not.
Gotcha.
This is not the prophecy that already happened like 1,500 years or however long ago, right? And provably so, by the way. But but anyways, that they'll just come in, and I'll be like, "Can you see the evidence? It's clearly not God, as it's little God, like little g gods. Sure, yeah, it's them and all the people that serve them, and the big G God is allowing it to happen. Sure, but it's not that prophecy that you're hoping that it is."
Yeah. It's something way different.
All
Right, you
so
said
get ready
the
for the
next
rapture,
thing in
bro.
the post. Which video do you want from the next thing?
Oops. Hold on one sec. I was trying to see which one would be the better. I thought I had another vortex one, but let's jump into one of the fires. Why is it's not even showing
Story of my life, bro.
fire?
This
Oh,
one
there it
says tornadoes. Is that a vortex one?
Uh,
Perhaps.
is it on the fire list?
No, it's on in that whatever thread you sent me.
Let's see here.
It said made a new discovery tracking the tornadoes and manufacture storm
Alright.
system through Chicago, July 27th.
I'm actually gonna send you, because I just talked about these Canada fires, and that's one of the first ones I got on the, because it's one of the first. I was like one of the first people to notice, like out of all the people that like watch satellites and radars and stuff. I'm like, did anybody notice the 100 fires that just started in northern Canada all of a sudden? I'm like, that's weird.
That's strange. Fuck.
We gotta talk. We gotta do an episode on the North Anomaly and the sun, because it's getting they cannot hide it anymore. Like after this eclipse, it has moved so far south that it's just so blatantly obvious, and the sky's so full of smoke and nanomaterials that it just you can see it like the giant hot spot or bright spot from it's blue.
Yeah, you
looking.
did kind of touch on that the last time we were here.
Yeah. So I have proof that there is the brightest light source seems to be in the far north, like way north, way farther north than most people in the true Earth community probably want to like accept, because everybody has their model in their head or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it could be a projection. They could have hijacked. I have proof too that the sun that's passing over our head, it's like hexagonal, right? It's creating hexagonal patterns in the nanomaterials while it's activating them. I have that one from the other day. But so the sun that we're seeing is either a reflection or they've hijacked the source. Like you've heard about the black hole sun theory, where
Of course.
so the actual light source is like at the center and it projects out. And what we're seeing is not what we think it is, right? It's a projection of the light source or whatever. Some people think there's a blue sun and a yellow sun. I lean towards like they are capitalizing on some sort of natural change in the sun's path or whatever. Because according to the vibes of cosmos, every couple thousand years, there's a couple other theories too that say this, but every couple thousand years, the sun rotates drastically on its circuit and then changes the habitability zones on Earth. It switches to a different quarter of the Earth. So there's the possibility we're in that transition period and have been for about 2.5, 3 years. But they can't.
Would that be the really fucking hot transition? Because that's what it feels like. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's
Well, if this, so there's like the way that the evidence is, mathematically speaking, because I went around the Earth and I measured like 200 different shadows, cloud shadows from all over the Earth at the same time.
Jesus, dude.
And yeah, I have an addiction to maps, and the weather stuff kind of just it feeds that itch.
That's awesome. I would fucking shoot myself.
And well, the physics of light is great because it's very consistent in certain areas. Like light is very complex in a sense where, there's some crazy technologies and stuff like with light that you can get into, but the very fundamentals of light, right, that proves its local corpuscular rays, the hot spots in the clouds or on the Earth or whatever, it wouldn't happen. And but the physics of light right in the shadows, right? I'm not going to be perfect, right? Some clouds are higher than others, whatever, taller than others. I tried to find like an average, right? I'd take like 5 to 10 readings from an area and then, whatever, go out from there. But according to the readings, which again, I've pointed to everybody, that map, the satellite map, has all the distorted landmass sizes, right? So there are real pictures of Earth, clearly, because I can coincide the radar data with the exploding weather, right, at the same time. So there is real pictures happening. But when it comes to like Greenland and Russia and like all these different places, the sizes are not accurate. Antarctica, the sizes are not accurate.
Yeah.
So
Come
even though
on, bro.
they block out all the weather from the north, almost the entire north, just the tip of Greenland. But if you think about it, just the tiny little tip of Greenland that's actually showing is probably the real size of Greenland, whereas they show it's the size of South America. So it can't be a real picture. It can't all be real pictures. Like I've proven that in the north, because they'll give you in live, you can't see Antarctica or the north, but the next day they'll give you HD photos and you can see everything in the north and Antarctica. And I'm just like, well, why can't we see it live? You know what I mean? And it just happens. Everything's just covered in ice and clouds in both areas, where you can't see anything. But I went off on a tangent about the sun, but it is tied to I did a whole 3-part series. If you want to, it's in that list. If anybody wants it, it's kind of long, but basically it's rivers of nano. Basically they're like I showed you last time, they're cooking nanomaterials off the surface of the ocean, transporting them as far from like past Hawaii to the fires, right? Because I'm like, how do these fires keep burning in the same places, right? There can't still be fuel, right? There has to be some sort of combustible something being added to the fires in order for them to explode at the same time every day in the same place.
Yeah.
I discovered that they were just transporting this giant river of nanomaterials that they cook off the ocean, and they'd block the moisture at shore and they'd let the nanomaterials through. And those would go straight to the fires. The sun would come by and activate this semi transparent layer of nano. You see it start sparkling, creating like popcorn clouds, they call it. And then the fires explode like clockwork every single day, multiple countries, thousands of miles, hundreds and hundreds of fires. So because I've proven, I think I'm probably like in the 90 percentile at this point. I'm getting up towards 100, but they've turned the sun into a directed energy weapon, right? Either they design the nanomaterials to be reactive to it.
I was gonna say that sounds like what it would be.
But I mean, they're talking like China has like built an artificial sun that's insanely huge, and the right before, like, I mean, a year before the Antarctica psyop, the final psyop down there, there was a company that successfully reflected sunlight into an area that was dark, you know, with mirrors and stuff. And I looked up, there's like so many patents on the sun reflectors and microwave, and they're actual, not just reflectors, but like microwave transmitter, sun transmitter devices and stuff.
Wow.
So I do think they hijacked the sun in some way, or they're the real sun maybe has moved to the far north for whatever purposes, maybe because we are at the end of the timeline here, and they have artificial suns farther out, because that's basically what I wanted to say. My research on the shadows basically shows that the main light source seems to be in the far north, like north of Russia, far north, north of
Damn.
Canada, far, like right at the edge of Canada, Russia, or whatever. May have moved a little bit south at this point or gotten brighter, one or the other. But there has to be more than one light source based on the shadows, because below the 60th parallel, the shadows are too inconsistent and show that there has to be multiple light sources based on just the math alone.
Wow.
Yeah. So it basically, and plus you see these three hot spots going around the equator, and then you see one bright spot like follow like an actual circle on the Gleason map, where it goes like through the United States, up the West Coast, past Russia and China or whatever, versus the little hot spots that they have going around the equator on the satellite map. I still, at this point, I'm up in the air whether or not those are CGI or actual hot spots from like a fake sun.
Yeah, fake sun. Either way, they're fake. It's either fake After Effect or fake out there in the sky. Jesus, man. What was the Pray for Canada? Was that the video you wanted me to pull up?
Yep. So this is gonna be this is one of the first ones, I think. Yeah. This was at the beginning of July. So this is one of the first bunches of fire. But you see the first thing, like you'll see the sparkling. See that like popcorn sparkle, like right before the fires. You see the fires in the
let me put
morning,
it
or
back.
their fires are going, but they're just barely smoking. And then you see this like sheet of semi-transparent material, just like kind of glitter or sparkle or turn into the popcorn clouds, and then watch the fires. Just that's exactly the one I was just telling you about when I was trying to describe it. That's what I was trying to describe badly.
Yeah, I see those little clouds.
The sparkly, and then see the fires, they just explode after.
What the fuck?
Every day.
Hold on, dude.
Yeah.
Roll that back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch
Roll that
this
back,
a couple
please.
times.
Like you see, I've never in my life seen
right.
that many fires in one. Look at that. How do you get that many fires in one place? Like, oh man, a lot of cigarette smokers up there.
Yeah, that's crazy. What the?
Man, they really need to clean out their gutters. I mean, this is ridiculous.
But that right
DEI,
there, that right there.
What the fuck is that?
They'll call that a pyrocumulus nimulus, because fires create their own weather. But I have other videos. I'll show you exactly what creates that. It's frequency. So the same thing that's happening with the weather. So the sun comes by, or whatever the sun is, and it activates this layer of nanomaterials, that sparkly popcorn thing. You'll see a giant sheet of it over every single country in the world as the sun goes by. South America is one of the best examples, but the United States is great too. You could, every day on the satellite, you could see the sheet of that stuff light up. And then they blast that with additional frequency from the ground. So they'll blast that activated nanomaterials. If there's fires in the area, this happens, where the fires all simultaneously just explode. And then if there's weather in the area, the weather explodes. And that is, I'm
That's
99%
fucking
sure
insane,
that is a microwave explosion there. So
If you look at fucking war video and shit, like that one looks like something was dropped there. It looks like something exploded. You know what I mean? Like if you've ever seen like the playbacks from the fucking war shit, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the from drone video and shit like that. That's exactly what that looks like.
I don't even know if I've ever seen that in war. Like maybe from World War II when they have like 500 bombers dropping.
Well,
and
I'm specifically talking about the
one
specifically the one that we zoomed in on. Like I know
the
all of
explosion, the explosion,
we don't even
okay.
have to get started on the fact that there's like 500 scattered random
even know
Yeah,
what
that's
fucking
what I was gonna
fires.
say. Let's not skip over this real quick. Everyone watching,
Right.
look at this.
Like it's
How many
pull
do
it
you
back
think
up
that
full
is?
view again. Pull it full view again so we can just fucking dissect this thing.
All right,
Because
hold up. Let me
How
go
many?
back here.
What would you guess? I've been saying hundreds, but like there has to be thousands.
dude,
It's hard to tell because clouds are covering some of them, but that's just look at that right there. Look
that's
at
what I'm saying. Like
all of those fires.
it looks like something rained down on it and fucking started them all at the same time, but they're scattered. They're separate from each other. It's not like a wall of flame. You know what I mean? Like not one concentrated area or two concentrated areas of large fires. These are like individual, you know what I mean? Like it's just wild, dude.
And this is not just a one-off, right? This was like the beginning, and then after this day, I noticed it happened in New Mexico. Then it happened in the other side of Canada where that straight line one.
That looks fucking crazy right there.
I'm
Just
trying to.
insane. So many of them.
I know I did I don't know if it's the 3-part series where that straight line fire in Canada, the one that started like near the Great Lakes. It's just a perfectly straight line.
Fucking-
Well, it might be in my 3-part series. Let me. I'm gonna just send you that, and I think it's in sun activated nano exploding weather. It's not as long as I thought it was. Okay, it must be part 3. All right, I'm gonna send you this. So this is my 3-part series on rivers of nano, sun activated, everything I've just told you about, basically.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, so the first part I just show like how because I was just trying to figure out how these fires, even because I was like, even if they're dumping seeding, right? Because you can see the lines from the planes and stuff like that, but there's no way they're dumping enough to get, because that spot right there grew. So it was from like the top northern part of Canada all the way down to Nevada. Every day, same places.
Sorry, it played as soon as I clicked on it.
No, you're good.
So yeah, same places. Fucking just
every single day, like clockwork. And like one of my little shorts, I'm like, I promise I'm not, Nostradamus's son or great grandson or whatever, because like in the morning, I'm like, every one of these areas that's smoking, I'm just if you're downwind of that or near it, be prepared because it's going to explode right after noontime. And sure enough, it exploded, and you just see the smoke start billowing out.
Come on, people. This isn't, you know what I mean? Like rocket science. How is he able to nail it down like this to the fucking time of day, dude? To the time of day.
Because it's happening over and over and over and over and over and over.
But it's just natural.
Yeah, of course. All right, Rivers of Nano, Part 1.
So let's go. I mean, unless you want to watch a little bit of the Rivers of Nano one, because to just kind of show you what I meant.
We can watch part of this.
Yeah, the last one's the one I really want to focus on because.
Okay, yeah, I'll just play a little bit of this and then
the long-awaited series
you can play.
dealing with nanomaterials, fire, and frequency. So here
I've been tracking this storm a few days ago, and I noticed this extremely strange river of nanomaterials going from all the way past Hawaii to the Pacific coast. Based on my research, there's at least a dozen or more nanomaterials, both the traditional and more exotic liquid crystal, multi-Swiss Army nanomaterials that kind of defy our understanding. But with all the activity and the fires and the weather this month, I have noticed some patterns with this nanomaterial. Both it gets aggravated and agitated, dancing along these frequency lines. But one thing I noticed about these disturbances and these storms, specifically in the Gulf, was that they were blocking the moisture after expending massive amounts of energy cooking this moisture off the ocean. I noticed that they were blocking the moisture, but they were allowing the nanomaterials, which must just settle in the surface of the ocean. So that means they have stored an entire ocean, and probably a Saharan desert full of nanomaterials that they can kick up or cook up and recirculate back into the air at any given moment. This particular stream is leading straight to all the fires, which I found very interesting.
Yeah,
and it's
convenient.
going against all the weather patterns, and you can actually see that frequency spin that I've been showing lately. The frequency weapons have a natural spin to them. That's the dancing nanomaterials that I was talking about. See, it may look like there's just a little bit. There's a giant river. You can see how it's distorting the ocean. It's because it's semi-transparent, some of them. But you can see there's a wide variety of materials in there, different colors, different textures. And they're driving it all straight to the fires. And that brings me to my next discovery this past month. How every single day, like clockwork, as the sun passes over territories of Earth, it activates this giant sheet of nanomaterials. As you can see, the entirety of North or South America gets covered with a sheet of this nanomaterial. Same thing with the United States. See how I called that popcorn clouds. They can create that with the radars, the cell towers, HARP, whatever other frequencies, but the sun is specifically causing this every single day. And then right after that, without fail, every single day for weeks, the fires explode, the weather explodes, as you can see, everywhere. It's not just unique to the United States. This is going on everywhere. And what I found is...
That's fucking crazy. Okay. I know you wanted to play the other one.
That was that's exactly what I was just saying. I said it much better, quicker there. Could have just let you play that video, actually.
No, we'd rather hear you say it.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, oh, this whole 3-part series, nobody wants to...
So part 3 is what we're looking for here?
Yep.
Okay, let me see. 1 second. Let me put it up. Because we can hear it, but they can't. Bill, did you just talk?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought your mouth moved and I didn't hear anything. I was like, shit, did it not let you talk? Okay, here we go.
That's just my
You
autism.
can see here, these are fires showing up on the radar. Notice they are simultaneously starting in a line.
Once again.
I've shown in many of my other videos. Notice that little line of clutter. I've shown many slices like that cut out of radars. Conveniently, they'll tell you that means nothing. That is just a glitch, clutter, a normal function of the radar. Can you pause it for just 1 second? I just want to make a point on that.
Yep.
So I made this video a while back. So they've been cutting like the big triangle slices out because
I remember you showing it
right?
last
Yeah.
time, yeah.
So like in the hurricane or at Hawaii, right? They cut out that section specifically because I showed that there's a triangle wedge-shaped directed energy that's fired out. Right after I made my first couple fire videos, and I wasn't certain that this clutter. I know this clutter affects the weather, but I'm like, is it starting the fires? You know, it's creating some type of vortex and helping exacerbate. But like the last few weeks, 3-4 weeks, there are hundreds of little skinny slices, just like that little line cut out of the radars now. So there's the giant slices and I'll show a whole bunch on here, but I just want to make that point. They have cut out, and they're all, like, quite frequently all pointed towards the fires, wherever the fires were. It's just crazy, man.
That's fucking insane. Just pieces deleted. Convenient little slices.
I swear I can read their manipulation better than they can.
Like I know what the fuck they're doing.
Starting simultaneously in a perfectly straight line. Now, at the very minimum, these radars create the drought conditions, they block the moisture from shore, and they create the high winds that fires love. The West Coast is always the best example of blocking moisture, California being the prime suspect, but as you can see here, they are blocking all moisture from getting to those fires. There's a giant Pacific Ocean out there that would love to send some moisture, but the radars say no way. If the TV man is trying to scientifically explain something to you or explain something away, they're almost guaranteed to be lying to you. They quite literally get paid to lie to you, to cover for the satanic agendas. You see these two little green lines? They'll call that clutter or radar reflections. Just a normal function of the radar. Well, on one side, it's blocking moisture, and then you see these two conveniently placed clutter lines. I've shown in some of my other fire videos that many of those are now removed from the radars. You see giant slices cut out, you see little skinny slices cut out, all conveniently pointed in the direction of the fires or extreme weather. This could be a total coincidence here, but I just showed you those fires starting in a straight line. And conveniently, off to the east here, I'll show you in a minute, there's more fires that have started in a straight line. And conveniently, those clutter lines are very closely lined up with those perfectly straight lines of fire. Now, did they start them?
Dude.
I don't know, but it's pretty suspicious that they cut these little slices out. They say they're nothing to hide, and they have no effect on the weather or fires, but they continuously cut more and more of them out, pointed in the direction of the fires. Perfectly straight lines of fires even. But I've also showed that many of these fires start at a very particular distance from the radar, like these ones, all the ones in the United States and other locations. I've shown what happens when they combine more than one of these directed energy weapons into one location. It causes microwave explosions in the weather. So why wouldn't it cause microwave explosions in the fires? Potentially even cause fires. And even if these were started by some other means, like gasoline or napalm or matches and
That'd be a
lighters,
crazy
the
campaign where
initial
they all
dry
start 'em at the
conditions,
same
the
time.
windy conditions, the block of moisture, all of these perfect conditions are highly exacerbated by microwave energy. So any processes that happen in these areas are not natural. They are caused. And right there, I just showed more straight line fires perfectly leading back to radars like I show in the weather. And actually, some of those perfectly lined up with that totally passive clutter. Coincidence? Maybe, right? But I don't think there's that many coincidences that can happen and you can keep calling it a coincidence or random or natural. I call that cause and effect, causation. Now, if this was just one radar and
Yup.
2 lines of fire, 3 lines of fire lining up, maybe we could say it was a coincidence. But I've shown over the last few weeks, all of the lines of fire everywhere that have started from Canada to the United States and everywhere else all lead back to radars. I have shown straight squiggly frequency lines being blasted from all the radars in the vicinity. And again, I've shown how the radars block the moisture, create the high winds, move the smoke around, move the nanomaterials around. And there are many factors that go into these fires, but the primary, number 1 and number 2, are frequency and nanomaterials. Look at that. Another line of fires starting at a very particular range from the radar in a straight line. Again, this red death pops up time and time again. It seems to turn pink like the so-called domesticated fire smoke, but it just does not look like smoke. The first time I saw it was coming out of Russia like a year or 2 ago. Russia, China. It was going all the way across Alaska into the United States and Canada, and I hadn't seen it again until recently, a month or 2 ago, and now I'm seeing it much more regular, and it keeps coming from very similar locations. Now, what I'm showing on the screen, right, we got the sun comes by, activates that nano, but we got this clear line going there, squiggly line, and it looks like the same
I know.
frequency type line. That So I this show is in the when you weather, were talking and about the then they'll explosion. call that pyro.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the explosion. This is where that's why I wanted you to play this video, because this is where I'm going to get in, where I show the actual evidence, where especially in the satellite images, you can just see frequency right? Smoke acting like not because I've shown the nanomaterials, right? They'll congregate on the strongest frequency line. You'll actually see them on that squiggly line or whatever, or the whatever pattern is being fired. Same thing with the smoke, because turns out smoke absorbs frequency. Excellent. So basically, all of these fires, the reason we had so much weather downrange in the last month or so is because these are just massive seeding factories. They don't have to go drop 1,000 different lines in the sky, even though they still continue to drop lines in the sky anyways. But these fires are just and then you could basically the smoke didn't travel in a natural pattern. They covered the entirety of North America all the way down to the tip of Texas with this smoke. Just you could see the radars, and then the radars would grab a hold of it because it's mixed up with the nanomaterials.
Yeah.
They'd just grab right a hold of it and then just park it over wherever they needed to park it. And then whenever that sun came by, activated the nano, they'd just blast it and they'd create whatever, 10 tornadoes at once or whatever it was that they were flooding. In this case, right now, they've switched to flooding.
So do you think this stuff depletes over time and they'd spray more of it? Or do you think they just want to keep putting more because the more they have, the more power control they have over everything?
Yeah, so they've been doing this since, like I had said last time, I'm pretty sure they installed these radars with the specific intent of controlling the weather, because you can go back decades and the weather basically follows the same patterns you see, but they've gotten much better. They have more weapons, they're more powerful, but the nanomaterials, because we live in that snow globe, right? And instead of snow, it's just all these different highly conductive nanomaterials. So they're just constantly shaking that that nano globe up, and because the more they have, the more control they have, the more destructive they can, more destruction they can cause, and the more precise control. And like I said, their cooking, I discovered in the last just couple months, because I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why are they just cooking up all this moisture and then blocking it as soon as it gets to shore? It was in the Gulf that I was seeing it at first, where they would cook these giant plumes of moisture and then bring it to shore and then stop the moisture. But I saw the nano was still going through. That's what they wanted, right? Because then it's like sometimes they'll use the moisture for flooding, right? But I kept calling that out over and over again that they were doing that. And then they stopped the moisture. And then they started bringing it from Hawaii. That's
I wish
crazy.
you were breaking down this shit when that weird fucking remember that weird not orphanage, but the girls' school in Texas that got flooded out, and
I got a video on that.
Do you really? Of course he does. What am I
Yeah.
saying?
I do.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, you have to send me that. I'd love to see
Yeah.
it, because I was gonna say I'm sure there was some of this nonsense going on with that. So
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna play more of this.
Coincidence,
You said you're
bro.
getting ready to
Yeah.
drop the bomb.
Before I get you, because my brain just went running on that. I remember that one specifically, that that girls' school thing.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I remember that video.
You'll have to recap that for me, because I don't think I remember.
Yeah, it's when you were away.
Oh.
Basically what the narrative, the mainstream narrative was, there was bad storms, flooding, and this school got washed out and a bunch of people died. But like, it was very weird how it happened. The flooding was very specific, and then the school's tied to like old
Yeah.
money families that
Yeah.
their children have gone there, famous people, a lot of stuff. So I just knew
Yeah.
there was some weird shit going on.
Say that has something ritualistic about it, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that.
Of course. All right, here we go.
Cumulus nebulous. That's just a fire creating its own weather. But, fires have been around for a long time, but they didn't have to go and explain the explosions in the mushroom cloud, just like they've been doing with the weather, because that's just not how it's always been. Now, that may be the case when you mix all these things together. It explodes like a literal explosion, like someone dropped a bomb, but it is not natural. It's being blasted with frequency. There's a heavy amount and saturation of nanomaterials both on the ground, in the air, so you can't call the process that happens afterwards natural. If you go get a whole bunch of metal shavings from a metal shop, you put them in some water, and then put them in the microwave for 10 minutes, probably going to explode. Would you call that a natural?
Dude, I love everything you're saying, but simultaneously, while you're saying all this fucking shit, there's this craziness going on in the background that I'm watching and like involved in both. It's fucking well done, man, because
Yeah, dude.
That shit's wacky that you're showing. It's fucking wacky.
Thing? No, you wouldn't, because it's caused. There's a causation that's creating the effect downwind. It's not natural at all. And like I've shown before in my previous videos, the bombiculus explosions, these we can call fire bombiculus. There's variations, but they'll say that this is a passive radar reflection, has no effect on the weather. And then you go look at the satellite imagery and you see these squiggly lines of nanomaterial leading to giant explosions every day. Every single explosion you see like that, go pull up radars and you will find frequency. So-called passive radar reflections. That's if they haven't cut out a perfectly shaped slice, just like the shape of the directed energy weapons, because it's nothing to hide, right? If it's nothing to hide, stop hiding it. If we don't have the education to know what we're looking at, then don't worry about it. Just tell us that. Don't cut massive slices out. But the fact is, people who have common sense can see that the directed energy weapon, the not passive reflection, is causing the effect downrange in the explosion. Every day, everywhere you look. It's not passive. It's cause and effect. And again, I pointed this out in part 2 briefly, but I keep seeing these things where they're blasting a lot of energy. There's like I guess it's like a nano channel of nano that's equalizing the electricity. It's like the nano's reaching out like a lightning bolt, but instead of lightning, it's a thing of nano. I don't know how to do this. We got to come up with new terminology for all this stuff because it's all fairly new and recent. All right, so this is video I put out a little while back. I did not put audio, so I'm just going to go back through it. It ties into everything that we've been talking about in this series. This was earlier on when I was just kind of piecing this all together. I had noticed that the fires, that nano layer would activate and then the fires would explode, and I thought that was kind of interesting, so I really started paying attention to this nano, also because of the Gulf situation where I watched them cooking the nano, and in the Pacific Ocean cooking the nano, blocking the moisture, but then sending all that freshly cooked nano off the surface of the ocean to the fires to help with extreme weather. Because these microwave energy weapons will not be nearly as effective if the atmosphere is not completely saturated with these highly conductive nanomaterials. That's why the weather and the fires are entirely manufactured and controllable to such a precise degree now, is because of these highly conductive nanomaterials. Plus, it looks like they are also flammable, so it helps with the fires to keep them going when they keep burning in the exact same locations over and over and over again.
I hope if you're listening to this only on audio that you go back and you look at these videos, because this shit
You have
is
to, otherwise
insane.
you're gonna fucking fall asleep. No, it doesn't make sense. You need to see it and line up what he's talking about. You know what I mean?
So I swear at some point in this video, I show the, I start showing the actual frequent. When you were saying it was looking crazy, I thought it was in this video, but I must have put it in a different video. I think it was my like 20. Did like a 24-minute one take audio where I was just kind of
Just going.
and I did not edit it, didn't cut out my likes, my rights, which I say all the time, and I hate it. Literally literally right, like, over and over and over again. But I at some point in here, I'm pretty sure that I show the. I think it must be in this one where the straight lines. If you want to just kind of skip ahead like a couple seconds at a time, and
Just to be clear, there's nowhere that it's not being manipulated now, right? Is that what you're saying? It's
100
everywhere all the
it's
time.
everywhere all the time.
Okay.
Even if you removed HARP and all the this, right there, you just that. So it is this one. We must have just
I'll go
because
back
every
a
once
tiny bit.
like as you could tell, sometimes during my video, I'll be like, I just have to keep repeating myself, saying all of those things over and over again for all like the naysayers, just like being clear on the very basics here. And then
I know
I'll jump back into the video.
I'm not every person, but to me personally, I'm not saying this because I like you, these videos are genius because you're repeating it as people are watching it, because half your brain's going, what the fuck is happening here, as you're saying it. And then you have this third layer where you're putting funny ass shit in text on the screen at the same time. So I'm like confused what I'm looking at, learning what you're telling me and laughing at the shit on the screen all at the same time. It's
Yeah.
And then it clicks. Once it
Yeah.
clicks, you're like, oh, I
That's
see.
that's pretty much what everybody tells me. They're like,
Right.
once I've kind of trained up a whole like little army on X, that'll send me post and is posting, because the more people that are documenting this, the better it is, right? Because
Yes.
if this comes from one person. I mean, my evidence speaks for itself now. Like I'm very confident. Like in the first year and a half, maybe I would be made to feel stupid or something. Like, oh, you don't have the education to know what you're looking at. I'm like, yeah, but you told me space was real too. So, you know, and yeah, so
Got-
let's go
Gotta
from there.
take what you say with a fucking grain of
Yes.
Yeah.
salt, people. Awesome. All right, let's watch this.
Happening in central Canada, I believe. Those are all microwave explosions there, right? That's not just normal pyrocumulus nimbulus. And I'm going to show you all of these radars on the Canadian-United States border and some of the ones in Canada and Winnipeg. All of these lines of fire line up perfectly with a radar. All of these little frequency lines I'm going to show you that are creating these microwave explosions, because basically these fires are mass seeding factories. So instead of cooking it out of the ocean,
We
instead of
didn't say this before, and I just want to point it out to people in case someone's watching and they're still going like, "Oh, how like
factory.
they're all starting at the same time. Like, how do we know that? This is just a clip of it." If you watch when he shows in the beginning, that's where it's starting. You can see the smoke thing start there. Not to mention the fact that you can see how the smoke is angled with each fire, and their angle goes exactly the same and tapers off the same way, which means the smoke started at the same time. It's in the same winds, going the same way, and it's fucking. They're all in like starting immediately at the same time, like not
Yep.
close to, not.
Yeah.
It's like all immediately. It's insane.
Same
There's a
thing with
delay in
Yeah.
in the satellite and shit. You
They
know what I
just
mean?
line up perfectly, just like refraction. It's
Same
just
thing,
always
yeah.
the right amount.
Same thing with all those houses that were going up around an entire lake simultaneously, all at the exact same ferocity and everything. That's just
Yeah, it's trees have water in them. What I said to
what
somebody.
happened. That's what I've been saying. Like when they tell me the trees have water, I'm like, what about the 1,000 other fires that have been simultaneously burning thousands and thousands of acres every single day for weeks? What about
Yeah.
those trees that they're
I
not
know,
having their
that's what I
water?
say. The one dude he was arguing back and forth with me, and he's like, "It's the trees take longer to burn, or they won't start because they have water." And I was like, "Where did the fire supposedly start, bro?
Yeah.
In the fucking forest where it's nothing but trees. So you're telling me it burned those trees, like you were just saying, same thing, but it won't burn these, but it'll burn the structures and melt shit that's burning at high temperatures."
Every fire you just saw there, every fire in that first one that I showed you from the beginning, early July, there up in northern Canada, with like hundreds of fires just simultaneously starting in that giant glob. Those are all trees. All
Yeah.
these fires right here are trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Some
That's
of
why it
them-
makes no sense what their
Yeah.
excuse is.
And the ones in the north in Canada, that's all swampland up there, like wetlands and stuff. So those trees don't have any water.
Those are non-water trees, they're good. All right. So yeah, I just felt the need to point that out in case somebody's looking at this and missing it somehow. I had to put it in its simplest form. Just look at the smoke, you can tell.
Instead of cooking it out of the ocean, instead of dropping it from planes or ground-based cloud generators, these are the best cloud-based ground generators that you could get, or ground-based cloud generators. There we go. And they blast it with frequency.
Crazy.
You do not get those explosions like that with shock waves without the microwave energy. You just don't get that severe of an explosion. But you don't get to call it natural if there's frequency involved. If you can prove, which I can emphatically, that there is frequency being blasted, again, large bodies of water and the ocean contain massive amounts of this nanomaterial on the surface. They can recook it off the surface, throw it right back into circulation, cause some crazy fires, cause some crazy weather, whatever they need to do with it. But you can see, just like the other fires, they start off baby fires or no fires, That semi-transparent layer gets activated as the sun comes by, and then the fires explode. And the ground-based frequency weapons are clearly firing, because I've shown. See all those lines of explosion that are happening? You'll see that's all happening on frequency lines, and you can see additional types of frequency. All those aren't mountain clouds. I don't care what they tell you. Those aren't mountain clouds. Those are frequency wave clouds. Now, for time's sake, because this one's already up to 15 minutes, I'm just kind of rapidly going through here, jumping through. I've showed this so many times in so many videos, and there's 2 previous videos in this series. But all of these explosions are on frequency lines. I've proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I'm going to show you these fires that just explode out of nowhere after that activated nano layer is all connected to these ground-based facilities. Straight lines leading back to these facilities. All the straight lines of fire lead back to a radar. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. There's like a 5% chance that's a coincidence. You see those explosions happening, they'll tell you that's pyrocumulus nimbulus. But it's
fucking crazy, man.
You can call it whatever you want. But see those frequency lines, the congregated frequency lines there that I show, the popcorn fuzz, right? How it starts to form a line. That's because they're firing directed energy in a squiggly, straight, spinning line from that radar tower. Those lines right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pointed at your explosions. So it's a caused event. It's not a natural occurrence of fires creating weather. I'm so good at seeing this stuff now, I can predict so-called passive radar signatures based off the cloud structures. But as you can see, all of the lines of the fires, the lines of the frequency, everything leads back to these radars. I've shown this 1,000 times with the weather, and now I've pretty much showed at least 100 times now with the fires, everywhere from the Pacific to here. It's not a coincidence. Fires don't start in a line like that. Even if you drop napalm from a helicopter, the odds that all of those fires are going to grow simultaneously in the exact ferocity.
That's what I
the odds
was
of that
picturing
are
as
extremely
napalm.
slim. But it's extremely high if you got radars that created a drought conditions, radars that are blasting high winds, radars that are blasting additional frequencies and nanomaterials and, well, moisture, and boom, there you go. Pyrocumulus microwaved nimbulus. Okay? Bombiculus. I call it fire bombiculus. I did a whole series on bombiculus if you want to learn exactly.
Dude, they need
how
to hire
create
you to
these
name their new clouds.
microwave
Right?
explosions. But the
Good at
fire
this.
bombiculus is just a different version
Fire
of the regular
bombiculus.
bombiculus.
If they hired him,
Just
we'd never
with
see him
fire
again.
smoke
I know.
as an additional seeding agent. This one here was one of
Do
the
we need you to
earlier
fly
ones
to
I
this
started to
location?
notice the trend
Yeah,
where
exactly.
the sun
Oh,
activated
in a
the
tra-
tragic
transparent layer of
accident.
Nano, and then the fires started to explode in the southwest. Same thing that happened in Canada, now Nevada, Oregon, Montana. Everywhere there's fires, actually. This is happening every single day. Every single day. And you can also see the all the weather pattern completely rotating on the same exact circles pretty much every single day. Have a
What are
wonderful nano and microwave
people's
day.
what do people say to this? I mean, I know the bats roosting and I know all that bullshit, but anybody even halfway in between, like I don't get how people don't see what's happening here unless they're just saying you're completely insane, that's not what's going on, you're making something out of nothing. But
Yeah,
I can see it.
Most of the WX people at this point just stay far away from me. I think they're instructed to just stay away from me because I always think it's funny. Like a hater will come in, you know, somebody who's clearly like a controlled op account. I don't even know if they're a real person or whatever. And they'll share it and they'll be like, "Oh, this is the dumbest thing or most retarded thing I've heard all like, you know, in my whole life or
Ever.
something.
Right.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is so stupid," like mocking me. And then I'll mock them back in the comments and I'll be like, "You know, it's funny." I said, they're going to censor you. Even though you're hating on my posts. They don't want people to see my posts so badly. because they're afraid someone's going to come into your comments that might have some objective thinking still, right? Their pineal gland's not completely calcified to a rock. So that they don't want that person to come in, because anytime someone does share it, I'm like, hey, I appreciate the share, and I'll put like 10 threads in there. I'll be like, for anybody that can still think for themselves,
Nice.
come check this out, right? But hopefully just one person goes in there thinking the same thing and sees what my counter argument is to their, oh, you're retarded argument, you know. Oh, it's this, it's pyrocumulus, it's just inflow and outflow. That's what they'll say about the explosions. And I'm like, how can you not see that the reflections are like, I can literally predict passive radar reflections based off satellite images of the clouds. How can I predict where clutter and glitches and just so-called passive radar reflections are going to be if they're not actually affecting the weather in a consistent way to where I can tell you exactly where they're going to be pointed and what they're going to look like, because I do know that they have an effect on the weather and I know what it looks like.
So the surrounding material, right? Like, why aren't they not able to do this, let's just say, generally in cities, high volume people, all that? Is it because they still need the ground and the, you know what I mean, the forest and all these things to do these fires? They still need that aspect of it, or you think that they're going to be able to figure this out and maybe like hit a park that's in the middle of a city, you know what I mean, something like, I don't know, Lincoln Park Zoo or something like that, hit the trees there? Like, what's keeping them from just start melting us in cities?
I think that it's probably going to be too obvious. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, when you see these towns that are burnt and the trees and stuff, like there's some videos coming out of Spokane. And if you want, we can jump right into the Spokane video that I got, and we can kind of skim through there, and I can show you
Yeah,
some.
because we got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I know
so
you said
let's
that
pull up the Spokane one.
it's mainly to drive us crazy and, you know, keep us in fear and stuff like that. But, I mean, essentially, people could just leave these areas that are repetitive and fires and everything, right?
That's also another part of it. They want people out, independent people that live away from the system. They don't like that, right? They're
Right,
trying to
right.
force everybody into the cities, right? So they're not going to probably
go.
hit the city. Be like, the city is safe. Come to the city.
Yeah, they
Safe.
get the double whammy. They get to fucking fuck with you in that way, too.
Don't worry about those 2 skyscrapers and the handful of buildings that all disappeared that day and turned to dust. Don't worry about that.
It was
That was
just
a
some
long
dudes with
time
box
ago.
cutters.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah, we have
We
TSA
won't let
now.
that yeah, exactly. We won't let that happen again. We have TSA. You're safe. What the fuck? Those people are miserable. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. Did you send the new one? The Spokane?
So that one that one I don't have online. So
Oh yeah, you have to play that. That's right.
I'm gonna I can share a window, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you wanna? So, is there audio in the video?
Nope. I'm gonna.
Okay, then it doesn't matter. You can share it any which way you want.
Okay.
Just if you need audio, you got to share it from a tab in the same browser you're in for this. But if not, you can share it from any browser. So
Okay.
you're good.
Can I actually throw this into Brave? I forget if I can open.
You should just be able to, if it's a video, just drop it in the address bar, and it like puts it in its player. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm watching the fucking video still in the background. I have my other screen on that. Like, it's just crazy. Like, all of the I don't see what the normie explanation would be for all of these starting simultaneously. I don't know what their reasoning can be behind
Throw it back up while he's working on that.
Yeah, it won't let me open it in Brave for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, damn, that's crappy.
But hold on. I know
Yeah, I'll put the
it's been a minute since I've even been on EVMux, so hold on. Share media or share media or the media. It's like then it has to upload, right? If I
No, go ahead and share a screen, and it's a window, right? You'll be able to click the window.
Yeah, even if you just have the video open, you can click to share that window.
it's gonna make me restart Brave real quick, so I don't know if that's gonna. disconnect me real quick because
If it drops you out, I'll be playing your video while you're gone.
okay. If you pull up that that main fire post, which is like the second post on my feed, you'll see all the. I have them grouped by both date and topic or whatever. So, all right.
Okay, let me pull that up. Oh, I see all the. Yep, it kicked him out.
Which we figured would happen.
Of course it will. Dude, I'm blown away by how all of these.
He's put so much time into this. So many hours, dude. Like, you can't sit there and say he's just acting crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he's driven by this, and he's connecting dots. And all you have to do is spend the 15, 20 minutes on a video
Just look.
walking you through it. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if you still don't get it, try another one. You know what I mean? Like, it'll click. It's going to hit. And then you're going to start seeing how he lines all this up and how these directional frequency waves and everything are just steering things and right down to shaping it. And it's just wild, dude. Like,
I can't believe how many links you have in that one post.
Yeah, he said he
Holy
flooded.
Shit, that's a lot of videos.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you had to
So
take a
much
guess, how
work.
many hours are you into this, bro?
Like 3 years. I mean, just this month alone, like I said, I have the worst backlog I've had of videos. People they're like, "Oh, did you see what's happening here today with the weather?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it. I got a video, but I still got I'm kind of trying to catch up on the fires because every single day these fires were raging for weeks, and we're talking about I tracked every single fire. If there was radars in the area, I recorded the radars. If there was, all the satellite imagery every single day, frame by frame of the smoke. I zoomed in on every single fire, and because frame by frame, you can see the smoke like going along the frequency lines. You know what I mean? It looks like a snake. You know, like just the smoke's going downwind, and then all of a sudden you see the smoke stretch out in this perfect squiggly line, and then you see a hole blasted through the smoke, right? It's like, that's not normal.
That's
Right.
not how it works.
So what you're saying is you may be the reason why we need these data centers. Awesome, dude. I appreciate that.
You heard it. You heard it right here. All right, yeah.
Okay.
So you want it full screen, and you're gonna walk us through it.
Yep, let's do it.
Is it up for you full screen?
Yep, it's on
Okay.
full screen. Yeah,
Want to make sure.
I probably should have switched it to horizontal, but that's all right.
That's all right. I ain't too worried about it as long as I can see it.
You go ahead and hit play.
Is it do I have to hit play?
Oh, yes. You
Yeah,
would be the
you
one
gotta
doing
hit
it.
play on
Yeah,
your
'cause you're
end.
sharing it.
Well, I'm not seeing the play button. Why isn't it not
There's a scroll.
Well, it should be on your whatever window you have open.
Right, you have to go to your main one. You won't
have
be able
to
to
go to
control it
that.
from EVMux. You got to go to the main window that you're sharing it from. 'Cause you're-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you
Yeah,
go.
that's
Yep.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I know. It gets tricky to try to remember that. There you go.
Yeah, I
All right.
still do that regularly once an episode. I'm like on here, like, why isn't it play? Oh, I gotta go over.
You can see my you
yeah,
can see
your
my,
cursor.
Okay, that's good. That's what I need you to be able to see because I
Yep.
don't think I put any lines on this one really. So,
Okay.
all right, sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, so let me see.
I'm already seeing space lasers. This is awesome.
Let me just fast forward a little bit so I can know what I'm gonna be showing here real quick. All right, so this is this is where okay. So I just start off showing the Pacific Northwest, all the fires that were happening simultaneously. And at nighttime, I kept finding these odd, like bright square or dot patterns, right? One thing I kept finding in the smoke was these weird patterns of dots, either a hole being perfect circle being blasted through it, or like 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots. Real quick, I wanted to know how I was talking about the nanomaterial, how it congregates on the frequency line.
Yes.
If you see right there to the right here, what that sun activated nano, but then it'll actually start forming onto the strongest lines. You'll see it congregating onto a line. You see how it kind of like, oh, if I know what oh, whoa, was that this? Was that me? Hold on. No. Okay. All right, so maybe I'll show it in here in a second. All right, so you can. Another thing you'll see is these chain link patterns in the.
Saw that, yes.
Yeah, I kept seeing that. It's something I noticed in the smoke a lot because, like I said, I've been looking at all of these like frame by frame.
Dude,
So
I'm losing my mind. I'm so glad you have the patience to do this.
So Spokane, so that's Spokane, right? That's the one that got turned to molten dust or whatever. So the radar is like right here. It's basically on top of it. When I was talking about the vortex, at some point in this video, I showed that it's sucking a vortex from this direction and then blowing out a vortex straight through the town. So basically, just like that hurricane was channeling the wind and the nanomaterials and everything else, because smoke is also flammable, combustible. So these fires are producing smoke. It's sucking that flammable smoke and nanomaterials straight into the fires or whatever.
And if you guys don't believe this is possible, you can literally buy fans that work by ionizing air and moving it with no moving parts or anything. It just does it directionally. They have them.
Yes,
so
they do.
This clearly exists. It can be done. They're just doing it on a large scale.
And there's so many of these anomalies. This you'll see it in a second. I'm pretty sure this is like this line shows up, right?
I just saw a line pop up back a tiny bit. I saw a
Let's move
perfectly
this.
straight line. Quick glitch.
Let's move that out of the way. It goes like this. It shoots. See, I don't know if this is the dot thing or not, but those aren't the best example. Well, I know there's where you start to see the frequency in the smoke. That's where a lot of the frequency, you can see it sticks out in the smoke, right? Where you'll see chain link patterns, you'll see these weird geometric shapes. You'll also see like triangles and weird shapes, but there it is right there. So you see this line, but you also, it's not just there. You see something over here, like something shooting through there. So typically when they're firing directed energy, I don't know if this is something like a UFO zipping by or if it's nanomaterials and smoke, like I said, congregating on a frequency line.
Yeah.
The other thing you'll notice is you're going to see a lot of blue in the smoke. It's not anywhere else on the satellite map. It only shows up in the smoke.
I see that.
And I don't know if that's, and also there'll be like red and yellow, which I've shown in the lightning storms, the directed energy lightning storms. There's some of those dots right there. But right there, like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the frequency or there's something going through there, but you can clearly see it's like continuing through.
Yeah, I see it.
Through the fire areas.
Right out the other area. It's in a perfectly straight line from one area to another.
And
I've
this?
seen the chain link thing pop up a few times.
You see it? Notice the moisture cloud layer where it stops, right? And I showed
yes.
in one of the other videos I showed the radars. I probably show it on this one too. I'm pretty sure. The coastal radars just block the moisture while at the same time sending out frequency and vortex winds, and they'll allow the nanomaterials through, and then see that activated nano there. But you can see all that Pacific Ocean moisture is trying to get through there, and you can see they're just pushing it south, like away from the fires.
Perfect line. Damn.
Yeah, and then you'll see that all the time. Same thing with the weather.
That's just really good firefighting, bro.
Look at how like it just perfectly stops
I
where
know.
the fires are. It's just insane. And there's even like a good right angle corner there. Let's see here.
So
Now we're flipping over to the radars. So first thing I'll point out, see all these empty spots?
yeah.
Those are the traditional giant slices they've been cut. Then you see these like little skinny slices all cut out as
Fucking
well.
Wild, man. Oh my
So there's
God.
you'll see fires typically popping up like they'll look like this. But right here, it's creating a vortex in that direction. This is the hydrology reading or whatever. So this is moisture. White is like no moisture. Green is moisture. If it starts getting like different colors, it's more moisture. But you can see, look, the moisture is trying to come from shore. This is Eureka. This thing is insane. And they'll tell you that's just
What is going on there?
a normal function of the radar. But I've noticed that the flashing,
Fuck.
there's been a lot of this weird flashing. And you can also see there's like 100 different slices cut out of this one too.
Right.
But notice that fire range, right? I showed in that one video. This is one of the directed energy weapons creates a vortex at a very specific range. So it'll be like this direction versus this direction. Like so, some create a vortex like this, and then others do like this. But see, that's directed energy right there being fired. This is directed energy being fired, and then right there where the fires are, the same thing. But most of those slices are cut out, but we already know it creates like a vortex of energy.
Yeah.
So we know that it's blasting that fire with some sort of vortex wind or nanomaterials while actively blocking the moisture from getting there.
That is wild, dude.
Yeah. And again, massive slices cut out all through this. That's why there's these giant like holes in the radar right next to the fires.
Glitches, bro. Glitches.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yep.
That's insane, man. I can see it. Like, I know I can't see it as good as you, but now when I look at it, I can see exactly what you're talking about. My eyes pick up the missing pieces, all of that. Before I'd be like, oh, it's just nothing there. But
so this is your velocity reading right here. So I'll just go back real quick to that. All right, so I said green is towards the radar, red's away, right? That's how it reads this. Like if you see green, it means it's reading some sort of velocity going towards the radar. Red, some sort of velocity going away. Gray means that there's like zero down to near zero velocity.
Yeah.
Which and you just saw the wind was whipping off of the ocean right here. From this radar, we could see it whipping in from the Pacific. This thing throws on the brakes, right? So that's what this one's doing. That moisture's coming, whipping through, and this one's like, nope. Throws the brakes on it and starts to push it south. So that's why you're seeing this gray. And that's why, it goes from 0 or 100 to 0, like the wind speeds. Same thing right here. They're slowing and breaking down that moisture while these radars break it up as much as possible. And again, all these different...
looks like it's changing direction almost right there.
Yeah, they do. You'll see the weather sometimes just spin directly around with the radar as the center point. I showed a flooding storm. I did like a fake parody video. It was like, I found a classified manual for the weathermen or whatever to like read or how to create or fulfill a flood order. And the storm goes up through New England and does a complete U-turn through Canada and then comes back down. Like it's crazy. Wow. Like right around the radar. And again, this one, they cut out that entire section, I think, probably because of me. And here's the Spokane radar. Ray-do is the word I was looking for. Couldn't come out there. Another one I made up. So this is what I was telling you at the beginning and just a minute ago. So this is the Spokane radar, which is just west of Spokane. This right here, they cut out that slice. So you can't see the directed energy being fired out, right? When I say fired out, it sometimes is actually magnetically pulling in. Just think of like Star Trek is the best example. They throw out the tractor beam and they pull the ship in. Okay. So it's still directed energy being shot out, but its force is magnetic charge. Like, does that make sense? Like a junkyard.
Yeah, it's a pull instead of a push.
Yeah. But it still reads as microwave energy going out, even though
what are they blocking it out with? The quote unquote satellite?
No, they just cut that whole section right out of the feed, out of the data. So they'll cut a perfect section. Now they have been, because of my videos, the colors you'll see are a lot less defined than they used to be, where you could clearly see on all the radars like a perfect direct, like a beam of energy coming out. But they've tried to like make it fuzzy or whatever. Right. And they've kind of realized which spectrums the directed energy is being read on. And then some of these radars you'll see, they're like, instead of being a full circle, you just kind of see a couple speckles here and there. It's because they've removed various layers of what it's reading, So this is, I just wanted to give you the context. So this, hopefully you can see it. I tried to like slow it down and show it a few times, but that right there is literally sucking in and creating a vortex. You can see it spinning, spiraling. And that's coincidence.
Crazy.
See that? I flipped it
Yeah,
upright,
dude.
but you see it?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just sucking all of that combustible nano and smoke and then sending it towards the fire in a vortex pattern at the same time. And as you can see how like there's not much to this radar. They've cut out a bunch of layers of the spectrums there and the giant sections, and that's the one that primarily was used in turning the town to dust. But they all work together, right? And this is velocity readings again. They'll tell you this bright flash is just a glitch right there. But the brighter the colors, remember, the brighter the colors mean the higher the velocity. But what I've discovered is the bright colors, if they're showing up in a wedge pattern or some sort of squiggly line pattern, it's when they're firing directed energy. And coincidentally, I don't know if I show it in this video, but there's also a fire right here, right? Like right where these are being fired out of that radar. But you can see again towards the Spokane area, all of that whole area. Oh, I do show. Yeah, right here. So this is the fire that's directly at the end of the those little flashing whatever.
The beam of happiness. That's all I know.
So even if it's not starting it, which I mean, I don't know if every single one's starting the fires, but some are. I'm certain that some are starting the fires. But at the very minimum, that is just like sending a tornado to the fire.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
feeding it.
Yeah, it's feeding it. It's making it grow in ferocity. See, that's one of those like weird square things I keep seeing. I'll see these bright spots somewhere in relation to where the fire is, both at night and during the day, as if something's shining from above. And you can see there's some sort of like geometric shape pattern or something there. And
that's fucking wild, man.
I'm pretty sure. I just kind of want to see. There's a triangle right there in the smoke.
It's just out of nowhere. Boom.
And then you see these lines or whatever. It's
what
just.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, that's totally normal. Just totally normal right there. Because things like that happen in nature in straight lines.
That's smoke congregating along a frequency line, you see. Like, there's a whole giant sheet of frequency there, but then it'll congregate along the strongest line or whatever. You see the squiggly line. You'll see it start to form along those lines like that.
Crazy.
See that right there?
You see all that crazy shit moving. It's so weird. I've never looked at radar like this. It's insane.
And then I don't know if that's the one. I kind of wanted. Well, there's more of the clutter pointed towards the fires. Totally passive clutter. Don't worry about it. There happens to be a giant. I think it was like not the Eureka fire, but I can't remember what it was now.
It's just clutter. That's what they're calling it. Clutter. I like that. It's a perfect beam, but it's just clutter.
It's hard
to be able to look at this ever the same, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's never gonna be a time when I'm like, oh yeah, let me watch the radar and see where that storm is naturally going and when it's gonna naturally arrive. You know,
ruined.
Like
it's ruined for us now.
Fuck now, you know.
Well, you like some of the people online. They're like, basically, you just have to learn to reread the weather, right? Whatever you used to know doesn't apply anymore. So you need to learn. You learn to read the frequency. Follow the radars. That's what I say, right? Because the weather, the weather follows the radars, not the other way around.
Yeah,
that makes total sense, actually.
And you see that there's a like spinning vortex being created from the radar.
What the fuck, man?
It's like an invisible Tesla coil almost, right where all that directed energy is being fired.
That's insane, man.
I'm really how much time we got left? Because I'm really hoping that I.
We're running
minutes.
running up on the end here.
I was hoping I had the crazy cloud. Oh, there's the Red Death again.
Oh,
whatever that is.
What the fuck?
I don't know what that is. I really don't.
It's a
It was,
dragon. Dragon passing by real quick. It catches
man.
it weird.
I thought I had the crazy clouds north of Spokane in this one, but I guess not.
I don't see no clouds.
Yeah, because it was like one of the craziest like nano things. It was a giant demon face in the clouds and stuff. But it was like you could see a bright spot on the nano or cloud layer, like a round bright spot, and then you'd see it on the ground too, as if it was like someone who's shining a light that was hitting the cloud or nano layer, but then also hitting the ground, and then you could see it kind of going along as it's moving or whatever.
That's insane, man. I would have never picked up on any of this by looking at it. I'm extremely glad you did, because it's one of those things that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. I don't know how anybody can look at this and think this is normal and that these two things are, well, not just two, but these things aren't linked together. It's clear at this point to me.
You have to be able to drop that stigma. You know what I mean? You gotta, well, like he's saying, you know, if your pineal gland isn't calcified to a fucking rock, that might be a first step, you know, but you have to be able to snap out of it and really step outside and, like, basically he was saying, reverse everything that you've been taught when you're looking at these, right? You gotta back up, re-engineer it, and then go back at it with new eyes, you know? And once you do that and you line up with what he's saying and he's walking you through this and he goes into such detail, people, such detail. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta open up for that. And really
watch his
follow along.
videos and
you have
keep
to do
watching
that.
us, because he's going to be back multiple times. He's going
Of course
to be
he is.
what we would call beyond a regular, I believe, and we're going to help him push out.
And
some of his stuff.
once they stop actually hiding this shit and just start fucking, you know what I mean, doing it in broad daylight, you know, and in real time, then shit, man.
All right, so I did find, if you want to
Nice,
stay the last couple minutes here.
Oh shit!
Did it
Just
just
to
turn?
make it big. There we go. There we
All
go.
right, so this is my Canada part 2 one, just because it's on the border. So again, all those fires starting like clockwork. You see the smoke.
Insane to me.
So this is the weird nano stuff that started happening. Like, you see all these weird shapes, and let me get this out of the way. That's where see that hole pattern?
Yes.
Oh, I think that was the demon
Looks like a
face.
skull.
I was gonna say, that kind of looks like a face.
It's upside down, but it definitely looks like a demon face for sure. Yeah, but right here is see how you can kind of see this going along, and then there's a spot on the ground right below it as it moves along. There's the demon face.
Yes.
See it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not even a stretch to see it.
No, it's not at all. No, it's pretty much right there.
But like I keep saying, I call it the dancing nanomaterials, which I've been paying way more attention in the last couple months, because you'll see how they start to congregate, and then you see these really bright spots, like they're being hit with some sort of something bright.
See. Something bright.
And when you're like, more right angles, but when you're messing with, because people like, you know, it may just be pareidolia, right? But when you're messing with 99% of reality, right, which is all the spectrums we can't perceive, which is basically because we only could perceive like less than 1% of our reality. The rest of it is we can't even perceive it, but it's there and it's happening. So when you're blasting all these energies and messing with all the electromagnetic spectrum and that stuff, you were messing with the unseen realm. And, you know, some of these mountains used to be giants. So it's not, you know, a complete stretch to think that, you know, that's not the wandering spirit of a literal giant, like his face poking through the ether, right? Because they kind of tore a hole in the veil. And again, you see these little...
Yeah, what's going on there?
See these little pitons that pop up? Like I said, I don't know for sure on this one, but I keep seeing it where large amounts of energy are being blasted towards these fires and or into like thick smoke and nanomaterials. And I think it's basically it's doing the same thing that lightning does. So what lightning is doing is it's equalizing a charge from the upper to the earth, right? To the air to the earth. And I think that's basically what this is. It's the electricity, the energy. It's overloading in that area, but instead of lightning, it's just creating a giant, like vertical channel of nanomaterials and smoke. But again, like you can see, like all this is not normal smoke behavior. Like just like
Yeah,
these are the holes being
black
blasted,
spots in it.
and you can
Big
see
fucking
like
holes.
you see it congregating along the frequency lines. It's just not, there's one of those holes. Oh, probably get this out of the way. See, there's dot patterns. There, every single fire had those dot patterns like that. Either one dot will blow a hole through it, and then or it'll be two
It
dots,
doesn't even make sense, dude. It doesn't.
three dots, or whatever. But it's just not how natural smoke. And then you see all these are that chain link. You start to see that chain link pattern in here. They'll say this is just mountain clouds or whatever. It's, the wind blowing up.
What?
Yeah, well,
Mountain
whatever.
clouds.
Enjoy
One, too.
more of those dots.
That's
All
crazy.
frequency
Yeah.
triangles. But yeah, I just kind of want to show you that because that was one of the craziest. Just you, all the see that's what I'm talking about, the frequency line right there. How the nano and the smoke will congregate along the line or whatever. But
That's insane. And the demon face.
look at all these
Insane.
fires. Just every single day that was happening. That's not just one day.
Just boom.
Ted, we gotta
Thousands
put the
of
demon
miles.
face in the thumbnail somehow.
I have a. I can. I think I can send you the post actually.
Oh yeah.
Because I
Send me that.
clipped that one. But again, it's like just all these different like right angles, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
none of it makes any sense.
Drawing it in like 80s neon. I love
It's
it.
probably like satanic hieroglyphs of some sort. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
can't put it past these people.
Gotta look on a larger scale from a higher view. Dude,
But-
once again, insane. Insane. I don't know how you find all this shit.
Hopefully that broke it down clear enough, and I tried to in my head because like I said, you saw the post, all the different posts and videos on it, and all the different evidence. I wanted to kind of build it in a way that it made sense before we started like looking at the actual right, so you would understand when I'm telling you like this is what's happening with the smoke or the radars. So hopefully I
Yeah.
did it in a way that built and made sense.
Oh, you
Because it's
did.
sometimes hard
Absolutely.
to translate my autistic mess in my
I
head.
get you. I get you. If people don't, they can let us know, and we'll ask questions in a different way or something. I understand everything you're saying and
And
going
if
through,
those,
and I
for
see
those
it.
of you that have made it this far listening only, I commend you. However, you're doing it wrong. You definitely need to go
Yeah.
and check the video and correlate it with what he's doing here because it's wild, man. And on that note,
Yes.
also go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com where you will find all sorts of goodies, including this goodie very, very soon.
Yep, it'll be up tomorrow morning for the paid subscribers, and then everywhere. Actually, here Sunday for free subscribers, and then it'll be out everywhere on Monday. Oh, we got the infinite
Yes.
loop going. Look at
Yes.
that. Bloop, bloop,
The
bloop.
portal. There's the portal.
The portal. And then go to canambullion.com for gold. Oh, look, it went up
Ooh.
while we were talking. It's gone up. It was in the red before. It's in the green now.
Hit the
Always up
blowout
and
sale.
down. Always up and down. Put it in your cart, buy it right away. As you can see, the prices change, and if you put it in your cart at one price and it goes up, you'll pay more for it. Come to your house unmarked, nobody to know what it is. Go get it. Not financial advice. Just do it. Don't be stupid. My dude,
Facts.
amazing once again. Let's fuck it. We're just gonna set up the other one. Set up another one soon. There's way too much to go through. So
Well, yeah, we got to go into that sun thing you were talking about too. We'll get a little bit deeper on that, and maybe get some short season out of you.
yeah,
No?
we're gonna have to put a little tab for you on our shit and figure this out because you're just gonna be there. There's 100 things to talk about. And also we're gonna have a couple other people on that are gonna talk about short season too that we met at Bro Grove, and then I want you to come on and we'll go through that and you can help us break it down even more because I'm sure you'll have a lot of the same, but then also some things to add. So it'll be great, man.
Yeah,
Everything
if,
for-
at the very minimum, if you want to just do like some sort of like short segment or something every week or every other week or something, and we can break down just like whatever manufactured weather fires has been happening. Like
Awesome.
you can pick headlines and I'll show you how it was
Manipulated weather report.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
I'll send you that. When we get off here, I'll send you that North Carolina one, or I'll tag you both. In
Oh
it.
yeah. I definitely want to see that one. Send that one.
No,
All right,
North
our
Carolina.
whole shit crashed, so I don't have any outro music. So we're just gonna go out. I forgot to load that back in. Like, you got applause, but no outro music. So, all right, man. Again, thank you. You got that. Thanks so much, everybody. Check him out on X, Bueller Dam, and it's right behind you at Short Seasoner on YouTube and Rumble. Yep, check him out. I think he's got more followers than us over on YouTube, so check that out. Check him out everywhere. We'll have his links below it like we did last time. Peace out,
Thank you, brother.
everybody. Good night.
Thank you all.
Take it easy.